Practice makes practical. We are talking all things practice and practicality. One of the things that I think is missing the most from the world of wellness, of spirituality, of even like, biohacking and the whole like just don't ever age is practicality. And it's the discussion of what may be practical for you is not practical for someone else. And what may be practical for you in one season will no longer be practical for you. And that's just the way that it works. I've relied on, I feel so vulnerable saying this, but I don't think it'll be shocking for you if you've been listening to me for a while. Especially in this really hard season of learning and integrating a bunch of new things, I've gotten this far by like relying on being charismatic and having enough years under my belt of doing this type of work where I don't really have to strategically plan. I can kind of fly by the seat of my pants. And that, again, going back to practicality, that's what's been practical for me up until this point. It has gotten me here. But now, to meet that version of us in March, and again, these are arbitrary, but just relax, okay? To meet that version of us in March, we have to create new patterns. We have to practice at getting better. We have to practice hearing no. We have to practice hearing yes. Let me say that part again. We have to practice hearing yes. Because you have been so good at self-sabotage. You've been so good at like trying, are you trying? But you're not really trying. You know the difference. And it's that sneaky self-sabotage. And you're really trying now. You are in it. You are putting yourself in the driver's seat. You have, again, that clarity has been unlocked for you that we talked about last week. And you trust now in a way. There is a new sense of trust, a new sense of safety, a new thing that has been unlocked for you. And so now there's no going back. Like the relationships you used to participate in, the things that you used to do, staying up too late, sleeping in, overeating, undereating, not like any of these things that you were doing, whether they evolved out of, older habits that even didn't service you as much as these new ones, you're at a place now that you know if it's a no. And so we're operating at a new elevation, right? And so it's like the way that we do things is going to be different, and that is going to require practice. So this first part is assessing the gap. So that way you can make tiny baby steps. And again, that pulse of your fingers bouncing off of each other ever so slightly so that you're creating new rhythms and routines. And those new rhythms and those new routines are what are going to support you when you start to hear those yeses. So whether it's in a relationship and they say, yes, I want to move forward, or they bring it to you and suddenly you are engaging with somebody who meets you where you're at. You've thought that you wanted that, you've worked towards it. It's still going to hit different when you're there. You raised your rates. You were so scared to do it. And now people are going, oh yeah, I can hit that quarterly. That sounds great. Or, that monthly retainer or whatever. Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. And that is going to hit you differently. Okay. So now you have more money coming in. Do you need to hire an accountant? The way that your practice receiving money is different now. Again, I could do 1,000,001 versions of what the specific thing is, but you know your specific thing. And what are these new things that come from hearing yes? Because I know there are so many of you listening that we have gotten so comfortable hearing no, we wouldn't even hear a yes if it hit us in the face. And so I'm letting you know now, I don't often do Rachel LaForce guarantees. You cannot sue me for this. And you can't sue me because I just said that. But if I had to make a guarantee, that's how it works, right? If I had to make a guarantee, there are a lot of yeses that are going to start to show up for you. So you have to show up differently.